It's time for a very special, very reminiscent Tech News Day.
Yep, guys, another week, another batch of Elon Musk news, and okay, look, some of it's actually the kind of good, wholesome, positive Elon Musk news that we used to love hearing about this guy. But before we get to that, we regret to inform you that it's time to rehash the beef between Elon Musk and Thailand-based professional cave explorer Vernon Unsworth, because Unsworth this week has now officially sued Elon Musk in Los Angeles court for defamation. Who could have seen this coming? Specifically, he's suing him for Musk repeatedly telling his millions of adoring Twitter followers that Vernon Unsworth was definitely a pedophile and a child rapist. This is, you know.
The best part of this has to be the fact that he was like, well, why hasn't he sued me then? Says the man who's getting sued.
Yeah, it's real just stepping on your own dick sort of shit.
So this, of course, all started with the situation in Thailand back in July, when a group of young boys and their soccer coach went exploring in a cave, then got stuck deep inside that cave when a bunch of rain started falling outside the cave, filling the exit path with water. They were initially presumed dead, but then some rescue divers were able to reach them and find them miraculously still alive after more than a week in that cave in complete darkness with no food. Now, the problem turned to getting them the hell out.
Yeah, so civilian and military experts from Thailand and various other countries converged on the scene to help out in the rescue operation, including Vernon Unsworth, a British guy who had retired from his finance job in the UK to go live like a king in Thailand and enjoy his favorite hobby.
Cheap beer, cheap food, how can you turn it down?
And cave exploration.
Exactly.
He's always been into cave exploration. So he was actually the first foreigner to offer his help with the rescue, having explored that specific cave a bunch and therefore being very familiar with the cave's layout. Unsworth is mostly a cave explorer, but he does have some experience with cave diving, and he was able to use his contacts in that world to bring over a bunch of actual cave diving experts from the UK to help in the operation.
But Elliot, what about all the child prostitution there? Child prostitution, lots and lots of caves to explore. I can see why Musk would have a tough time choosing between the two.
Well, you gotta understand, like Thailand, it's literally child raped the country. There's absolutely no reason why anyone would visit or live in Thailand other than child rape. And
or, you know, the natural beauty.
Nope. I think just
the
child
cost
rape.
of living, the caves to explore, especially when that's your proclivity.
I choose to believe that the only reason anyone would ever step foot in Thailand is to rape kids. Well, that is my opinion as a billionaire CEO.
As someone who's been to Thailand and didn't have
you went to Thailand?
Any experiences with prostitution,
He went to Thailand.
whether of age people or underage people, I can safely say that it is a beautiful country and I would go back.
Sus.
Anyways, you got this massive international rescue operation with all these groups of people from all over the world showing up to collaborate and share their various areas of expertise, who presumably would come up with a good, successful rescue plan. And then with that underway, here comes Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who offers up a plan of his own. Build a small, child-sized submarine that rescue divers can bring to where the kids are stuck, jam that kid into the child submarine, and just pull the whole thing out of the cave to safety. Now, he enlisted a bunch of his SpaceX engineers to tackle the project and even tweeted out videos of the child-sized submarines being tested out in a swimming pool.
Okay, so on the one hand, it's very nice of someone like Elon Musk to step away from his work and try to contribute to saving the lives of some kids on the other side of the world. On the other hand, the fact that Elon Musk and his SpaceX team, all smart people to be fair, don't really have any expertise or experience with this kind of thing, caves, made a lot of people question if this was just a giant distraction, or even if it was a viable method of safely rescuing these kids at all. After all, we've already seen just how dangerous this situation was when a retired Thai Navy SEAL got stuck underwater and died trying to get some air tanks to the boys. That guy was a diving expert and an athlete in peak physical condition, and this cave had fucking killed him. So if this rescue is that deadly for even guys like him, maybe a rocketry company in Los Angeles isn't who we should be looking to for solutions.
In the end, the rescue team at the cave ended up doing the rescue their own way, saving the lives of everyone trapped inside that cave, and the Elon Musk child submarine didn't end up getting used. The world rejoiced at seeing a diverse team of rescuers from around the world coming together to do the seemingly impossible and save all these lives. In the aftermath of the rescue, Vernon Unsworth was one of the many rescuers interviewed by news crews, and when he was asked by CNN what he thought of Elon Musk's unused child submarine idea, he responded about as politely as you would expect, given that he'd just spent 2 weeks volunteering on an intense rescue operation where one rescuer had fucking died trying to help the kids, and, here he was being asked about something that hadn't contributed to the rescue whatsoever, yet garnered a lot more attention than the people that actually did the rescue.
Yeah, so here's what he said.
What your thoughts on Elon Musk's idea was?
And stick his submarine where it hurts. It just had absolutely no chance of working. He had no conception of what the cave passage was like. The submarine, I believe, was about 5'6" long, rigid. So it wouldn't have gone round corners or round any obstacles. It wouldn't have made the first 50 meters into the cave from the dive start point. Just a PR stunt.
Okay, so yeah, not very politely at all. To be fair, I could see how someone like Elon Musk
We've been through the fact that maybe he was a bit upset about the fact that Elon Musk was getting pressed for this when it was the result of him and many other experts solving the problem.
Yeah. Hey, you just solved this problem, but what about this other guy who contributed nothing? What do you think about him?
You know what? Fuck him. It's an understandable response.
Yeah. So yeah, despite being part of a longer interview, that one clip immediately got shared all over social media, including Twitter, where Elon Musk spends a lot of his time. He doesn't have a lot of time, but like the 48 hours of the week.
He carves out a little bit just for Twitter.
He spends a lot of his time on Twitter.
Or he had.
Was responding to criticism of him and his companies. So inevitably, Elon Musk tweeted about Unsworth's comments, but instead of, saying that it's unfortunate that Unsworth feels that way and that Elon had simply been trying to help and just was glad that the kids were safe, instead of that, he called Unsworth a pedo. When someone asked Musk to clarify that he was indeed calling Unsworth a pedophile, he replied, "Bet you a signed dollar it's true." But he still provided no evidence to support his claims except that white people only go to Thailand to fuck kids, I guess, according to Elon Musk, Thailand expert.
So, yikes. And despite Musk enduring various other business-related scandals since then, he apparently never got over the fact that Vernon Unsworth said mean things about him. Now, a few weeks back, Musk brought the whole thing up again, saying that if he was wrong, why hadn't Unsworth sued him yet? Huh?
Yeah.
Except, Unsworth's attorney jumped in on that thread to let Elon know that he needs to check his mail, because turns out they totally sent him a legal notice weeks earlier, letting him know that he's about to get sued unless both parties can agree on an out-of-court solution. A BuzzFeed news reporter then reached out to Musk over email to ask about this, and here's how Musk responded.
Off the record. By the way, doesn't work that way. Off the record, I suggest that you call people you know in Thailand, find out what's actually going on, and stop defending child rapists, you fucking asshole. He's an old single white guy from England who's been traveling to or living in Thailand for 30 to 40 years, mostly Pattaya Beach, until moving to Chiang Rai for a child bride who was about 12 years old at the time. There's only one reason people go to Pattaya Beach. It isn't where you go for caves, but it is where you go for something else. Wink. Chiang Rai is renowned for child sex trafficking. He may claim to know how to cave dive, but he wasn't on the cave dive rescue team, and most of the actual dive team refused to hang out with him. I wonder why. As for this alleged threat of a lawsuit, which magically appeared when I raised the issue, nothing was sent or raised beforehand, I fucking hope he sues me. Yeesh.
Well, now, in the least shocking turn of events, Vernon Unsworth has sued Elon Musk for defamation. And the actual lawsuit document it's worth a read because it lays this whole thing out really well, including a detailed timeline of the actual rescue operation, an explanation of Unsworth's caving background and what he specifically contributed to the rescue operation, also an explanation of why exactly Unsworth felt comfortable saying Musk's submarine had no chance of success. It also includes the line, "Sus" is commonly understood as an abbreviation for suspicious.
You gotta get all the facts in there. It's in a court case, so they gotta explain what sus is.
I'd like to ask the jury, do they know what the word sus means? If this is truly my peers, they will know. Well, if it was my peers, yes, but Unsworth's peers, not sure.
I actually don't have a lot of peers. A very high IQ. Anyway, the lawsuit seeks damages of just $75,000.
That's humble.
As well as the cost of Unsworth's own legal fees. Plus an injunction ordering Musk to stop calling Unsworth a pedophile, child rapist, sex trafficker, and married to a 12-year-old.
Also, he wasn't single either, right? He has a live-in partner who's also like 40 years old that he's lived with in Thailand.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, I mean, given,
all of that.
Given all that, it seems, still pretty reasonable given that Musk is a billionaire who publicly, repeatedly claimed to millions of people that Unsworth is all of those things. Child rapist, pedophile, sex trafficker, married to a 12-year-old, despite there being absolutely no evidence to support any of it. So yeah, in this specific case, Elon Musk can absolutely get fucked. And hopefully Unsworth gets every penny he's after, and Elon Musk learns a lesson that most people learn when they're children. Don't tell lies about people just because they don't like you.
Seems like a good lesson. Now, another potential legal trouble for Musk stemming from his Twitter activity this past summer, the whole funding secured fiasco has apparently led to not only an investigation from the Securities and Exchange Commission, but also now a criminal probe from the U.S. Department of Justice, which has the potential to do a lot more damage. When he said the worst is yet to come, he wasn't lying about that.
How could I have prevented all this? Oh, not go on Twitter? Shit.
The root of these investigations is, of course, the fact that Elon Musk went on Twitter back in August and tweeted out that he was considering taking Tesla private and buying back shares of public Tesla stock from shareholders at a vastly inflated price because Tesla had secured funding in order to do that.
Yeah, so this ended up just being total bullshit. There was no funding secured. Saudi Arabia had apparently been thinking about it, but it wasn't a done deal and it's probably not happening. But when Musk tweeted out that funding was secured and that Tesla would soon be buying back stock shares for way more than the current price, it set off a buying spree for Tesla stock with people looking to buy and then presumably sell back for a guaranteed profit later on.
Easy money.
Yeah, which of course led to Tesla's stock price going up quite a bit that day with all of these people
buying it with the hopes of reselling it.
It was like, everyone got that same exact high they got in like November 2017, where like Litecoin just went up 20% today.
How could it ever crash?
Yeah. So a lot of people saw all this as a pretty clear-cut case of fraud. And that's apparently what the DOJ is looking into. Based on how these things usually go, Tesla probably isn't super fucked, but they do, however, now have to cooperate with an investigation that could go on for months. All because Elon Musk couldn't just not tweet.
He needs to go get one of those old Razor phones where you have to type in with the actual numbers to make up a tweet.
He needs a jitterbug.
Yeah, get him a jitterbug, and then he's typing in a tweet, and he's like, when you get like 3 words in, you're like, fuck this, not worth it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, did we actually say at the beginning of this episode that there might be some cool Elon news this week? Because there actually is. We swear. It's cool, but also sus, as they say these days, the kids these days. At a SpaceX presentation this week, Musk revealed that Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa had given SpaceX some presumably massive amount of money to take him on a trip around the moon and back. And the launch could happen as soon as 2023, which sounds like it's way far in the future, but not that far, 5 years. Not even, 4.5, yeah. Maezawa is an avid art collector, and the idea that he successfully pitched to SpaceX along with his loads of money is a project called #DearMoon, which will involve not only himself, but also 6 to 8 artists from around the world making the trip.
Yeah, so according to Maezawa, these artists will be asked to create something after they return to Earth, and these masterpieces will inspire the dreamer within all of us.
They can look at a telescope.
I mean, look, it would be pretty fucking awesome to travel around the moon.
We need to go back to the moon anyway.
Yeah. We need to check on it. How's it doing?
Make sure it's not flat.
So he says he wants artists from various disciplines to come on this trip, such as painters, musicians, film directors, writers, dancers, and so on.
Dancers. We gotta be entertained. Hey, it's day 5, and we're really hitting a low point. Can you do one of those cool jigs that you guys do?
Do the moon dance.
Yeah, we need to bring the Jabberwockies on this trip.
I mean,
it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. It's definitely worth having a bit of skepticism, though. I mean, first off, SpaceX has never actually sent a human into space, much less a non-astronaut. Secondly, SpaceX has never done a moon mission. Now, this exact sort of mission that they're pitching has previously been done by NASA, though, so who knows. 5 years is a lot of time to plan for this, but also kind of not, so hopefully it works out. Also, this guy, he gave them money like 2 years ago. And they were originally planning for the launch to happen this year. And they're like, wait a second. Turns out it's a lot more complicated than we thought.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But hey, it's fun to think about at least.
Yeah. So, all right. Anyway, there was some non-Musk news this week, though. So let's take a look at that pretty quickly and get away from Elon Musk for a second. Amazon confirmed to the Wall Street Journal this week that they're investigating reports of Amazon employees taking bribes from third-party merchants to just delete negative reviews on their products. There's also apparently been bribes to give sellers access to Amazon's internal sales data, which sellers could then use to improve the searchability and appeal of their own listings. Now, while this is a problem here in the US on Amazon.com, and you should definitely take any Amazon review with a grain of salt, this is apparently mainly a problem over in China, where outright bribery is often seen as just another business tactic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. Yeah, just never trust Amazon reviews. You can tell they're all bullshit. Go on a third-party thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. But in other Amazon news, Jeff Bezos has announced that he's committing $2 billion to helping the homeless and to providing free preschool in low-income communities. That's a lot of money to just give away, so good for you, Jeff. Of course, if you do the math, you see that Jeff Bezos, the richest man on earth, is worth around $163 billion. So that $2 billion comes out to just 1.2% of his net worth going to charity.
Here's what I'll say with this. There was a headline on CNBC that was like, Jeff Bezos donating this is only like a average American donating. It was like between $1,000 and $1,500 to charity, and I was like, yeah, that's a lot for an average person to donate to charity every year.
Average household.
Well, still, not like a lot of people. A majority of people are not dropping upwards of $1,500 on charity per year.
Well,
I mean, I throw $50 at Doctors Without Borders here and there.
but
I appreciate it.
I give a few hundred. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's like if either of us decided to issue a press release because we donated $700 to charity. Like it's nice that you give. I'm not gonna make a big fucking deal. Hey guys, did a nice thing.
We did raise $10,000 for child play last
That's
year.
like 5 Jeff Bezoses.
That's true, but
Adjusted for scale.
I think last year it was Doctors Without Borders and a Thirst Project, which builds wells in Africa. So I'm doing my part. Are you? And apparently Jeff Bezos is in some small way. So listen, this isn't a bad story. I gotta give it to him.
I mean, he's doing better than when he had donated $0.
Yeah, it's something.
It's like, yeah. I mean, look, it's hard to really congratulate Jeff Bezos on his generosity when other obscenely rich people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg routinely give away tens of billions of dollars to charity and have all signed the Giving Pledge, which is an agreement among a bunch of billionaires to give the majority of their vast wealth to charity over time, which Bezos very conspicuously did not sign on for, by the way. You can look at the big list. It's like every fucking major founder and CEO in Silicon Valley, except for Jeff Bezos.
It's a nice tax write-off.
It is. Like,
I've never given enough to actually get a tax write-off, but I'm sure that people who are donating this much money are appreciating the tax write-off for it.
Sure, it's better than nothing. And yeah, the tax write-off, pretty sweet. But hey, look, it's nice that Jeff Bezos has a couple billion lying around to spare for the poors. But I don't know, maybe you could spare a little more for stuff like paying his employees better, or I don't know, anything.
Maybe healthcare for his employees.
Yeah, my point is it's just hard to not be a little disgusted that one person can have $163 billion where there's somewhere around 43 million Americans living in poverty.
It's not nothing, Elliot. I appreciate his contribution.
Sure. Thank you for your service.
Based on the statistics, he's donating way more than the average American, which is, it's fine.
It's nice.
Fine.
It's
It's
nice.
very nice. I appreciate
He
it.
also
Jeff Bezos, that's why I appreciate you.
well, something that's fun, like he's creating a bunch of like
And
preschools.
this is the first time. Maybe he'll do it more. You don't know.
That'd be great. Maybe it's the start of something real special.
Yeah.
But the preschools he's starting, he says he's going to be like keeping a very close eye on them and like directly influencing how they run things, despite, I don't know, not really having any background in education. And he says he wants to run these schools like the way Amazon is run.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
Where the baby is the
No
customer.
bathroom breaks.
Yeah,
They all wear diapers.
look, it's nice. Yeah.
And they learn how to box up packages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We keep them in a
We're
cage.
putting the kids back to work. No, listen, this is good. No matter what way you cut it, this is good. If he continues to give, that's even better. All I'm saying is the average person isn't dropping $1,000 or more on charity every year.
Well, that 1,000 is like if you have a household net worth of $100,000, which is the median in the country.
What I saw was the average. Yeah, it was based on the averages. Obviously, like, I would assume that the majority of people watching this show, myself included, I can't spare a fucking $1,000 to give to a charity. I wish I could. I wish I was in that position. But in the meantime, we just have to do live streams where we beg other people to donate to charity.
Yeah.
Which is good.
You
We're
can't
doing our
spare
part.
it. Jeff Bezos, I would argue, could probably spare over $100 billion.
Probably.
Like, what do you do with $163 billion? Like, it's unfathomable to me, like, what you do with that much money.
I don't know. But hey, I'll say it now. We'll do Child's Play again this year. We'll raise some more money.
Yeah.
That way we're in the clear at least.
We're going to start our own school. I don't know anything about schools, but I'm going to start one.
But I'm going to make sure that I'm in control of it,
Yeah.
too. And they're going to learn how to make YouTube videos. We need more editors that work for $0.
We're going to run the
Because
schools.
I'm tired of editing our videos.
We need to run our schools like YouTube channels.
Yeah. Where everyone makes absolutely nothing unless people give to a Patreon.
All right, kids, we're all out of money. Get on the webcam and start begging for Patreons.
Please sign up for a Patreon.
Yeah.
It's probably not a tax write-off, but you'll probably feel good and it'll keep the show going.
Yeah.
In other news, YouTube gaming is dead. Long live YouTube gaming? 3 years after launching a gaming-focused version of YouTube to compete directly with Twitch, YouTube gaming is shutting down because it turns out almost no one was using it. They even had their own standalone app, which I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, it had a little heart.
It's cute. Just like
YouTube gaming's all about love.
Just like Zelda.
Yeah. Or just like CVS Pharmacy.
Ooh.
They have the exact same logo.
Anyways, that doesn't mean that YouTube gaming was a failure. In fact, most of the features that have been added to normal YouTube over the last couple of years that were actually good came to YouTube after being tested out in YouTube gaming. Stuff like super chats and channel memberships, another thing we don't have yet.
Yeah.
That allows viewers to throw money directly at the creators that they enjoy. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hope it gets turned on for us soon.
Yeah, just flip the switch. Come on.
Meanwhile, the YouTube gaming experience lives on at youtube.com/gaming, which has a landing page where you can look for streams and videos of a long list of games and see what game and those videos related to them are currently trending. There's also a gaming creator on the rise feature that's meant to help younger channels get some much needed exposure in the crowded gaming landscape, although they have sort of done that kind of stuff before on regular YouTube, and it seems like, as with most things that Google likes to do, it just gets put on the side and forgotten about.
Yeah, remember Google Inbox? They shut that down this week too.
Yeah, that's going away.
I used that for like a month, and then I forgot about it. And
but
they're
they're taking the decent parts of it and putting it back into Gmail, so
Yeah.
maybe it'll be good. Maybe it will be good. Please turn on our channel memberships.
Please. Anyway, speaking of gaming and gamers, does Fortnite cause divorce? Well,
that's a loaded question.
That's a very loaded question, and
we solve it.
Yeah, but you should watch our video to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, is the DC movie universe fucked? That's not really a loaded question. It's pretty self-explanatory if you know anything about what's going on. But watch that video to find out the answer to that as well.
Subscribe to our podcasts on your favorite podcast app by searching Internet Today or Weekly Weird News. And speaking of Weekly Weird News, it's been a weird week, so I can't wait to talk to all of you.
Which video game character is your penis?
Mine's Waluigi.